Florida Governor DeSantis signs bill ending permanent alimony.
Hallelujah!
Very good.
So that's
About damn
reason
time.
number 372,014 to move to Florida.
All right. Now,
Mm.
I'm going to be honest. I have been talking to many veterans who lived in Florida who got stuck with that permanent alimony horse shit. And they had their VA pensions taken away so they could pay this bullshit. And I'm going to be honest. Alimony in today's day and age is the equivalent of slavery. All right. And that's a prime example of men being held to the early 1900, late 1800 standard of marriage, and women are operating in the 21st century standard of marriage. So these dudes are getting married to these ladies. In Florida, it used to be if you were married for 10 years and a day, there was a very high likelihood that the soon-to-be ex-husband is on the hook to provide a check once a month to the former skank who used to call wife. That means that guy will never retire. He'll have to work himself until he drops dead. And there's a few other things in this bill that I really liked, and it's allowing them to go back and renegotiate alimony awards and what have you from the past before the law was actually put in place. Because a lot of times there's a grandfather clause, meaning if whoever got hammered in the ass before is going to continue to get hammered in the ass, even though there's a new law out there. And I'm glad he's doing it, because I mean that has to be one of the main motivators to for men to basically floss out the back of their throat with a 44 Magnum or a 12 gauge.
Yeah,
Right.
We definitely don't need that, man. Get
Yes.
more numbers on
No.
that board. But let's see if we can cover some of those things that you like in this bill here, Pop. Let's see. Governor Ron DeSantis on Friday had signed a measure that will overhaul the state's alimony laws after 3 votes of similar bills and a decade of emotional clashes over the issue. I wonder who the main detractors of that were.
Oh, there's a bunch of women who are whining and going crazy over this.
The measure SB 1416 includes doing away with what is known as permanent alimony. DeSantis' approval came a year after he mixed a similar bill sought to eliminate permanent alimony and set up a formula for alimony amounts based on the length of marriage. The approval drew an outcry from the members of the First Wives Advocacy Group, a coalition of mostly older women who receive permanent alimony who assert that their lives will be upended without these payments.
Alternatively, you could all go get jobs.
Yeah.
Listen, feminism has won. Men and women are equal. Go get a fucking job.
That's right.
Yeah, go and be sure to apply for those dangerous jobs that 95% of men are work-related casualties.
Yep.
Give those jobs a shot.
We call them Doug.
This all could have been avoided, ladies and gentlemen, if they just would have, I don't know, maybe stayed married. Just a thought.
Well, here, I mean, on a side note, it's along the same lines. When I heard about this the day before yesterday, I got on the internet and I did some searching, to see what women were saying from Florida. And there was one lady, she was 66, been divorced since she was 40. The ex-husband has been paying her alimony for 20 plus years. And now she's not going to get those payments anymore. Well,
yeah,
you got divorced at 40. You could have went out and got a career and started working and doing all that other horse shit, and you didn't. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on, and may you suck all the cocks.
Yep.
Wah.
Well, and they knew what they were doing long before this. They had the plan. They knew they were going to get the paycheck, so they married the first beta simp they could find, and then decided to cash in on it. And now it's not going to work out for them, which I like it. I like it.
Thus, the title of the stream: No sympathy for stupidity.
Yep. Let's see here. Their quote is, "On behalf of the thousands of women who our group represents, we are very disappointed in the governor's decision to sign the alimony reform bill. We believe by signing it, he has put older women in a situation that will cause financial devastation."
Don't care.
Don't care.
Mm.
The so-called party of family values has just contributed to the erosion of the institution of marriage in Florida.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I cannot believe she just said that. Are you kidding me?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, this
what
is
was her
the
name?
It's
Jan.
the same group hell bent on destroying family values. So
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
Hey,
let's-
Jan. It sounds like you have an issue. So here's a tissue.
Yeah, I like it.
nice.
But my thing is this. I am done. Man, if you haven't noticed, there's an imaginary fork in my back. I am sick and tired of all of these whining women playing the victim and trying to get the sympathy horn blasting in their direction. Those days are done.
Mhm.
Pound some sand right up your cooch. It's over. Don't
Right
care.
up the old snot pocket. Go
Yeah.
squat on a sandcastle. Of course, she's a 63-year-old Boca Raton woman who founded the group a decade ago.
Well, first of all, Boca Raton is a very expensive zip code in Florida.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't care.
Yep. Let's see. The years-long effort to do away with permanent alimony has been a highly contentious issue, of course. It elicited tearful testimony from the members of the First Wives group. Like I said, you have an issue. Here's a tissue.
Mm.
But it also spurred impassioned pleas from ex-spouses who said they had been forced to work long past the age they wanted to retire because they were on the hook for alimony payments.
Yep.
So yeah, we got Michael Buehler, chairman of the Florida Family Fairness. Talk about alliteration on that one. A group that has pushed for doing away with permanent alimony praised the approval of the bill, which it should have been. Florida Family Fairness, Jesus Christ, tongue twisters, man, is pleased with the Florida legislator and Governor DeSantis have passed a bill that ends permanent alimony and codifies in statute the right to retire for existing alimony payers. Anything that adds clarity and ends permanent alimony is a win for Florida families. Yes, because then that will allow the man to keep his resources and whatnot to put towards his family that more than likely would not be squandered by the ex-hewer.
Well, there's a reason why only 5.1 people out of 1,000 are getting married. It's because of these draconian laws that have been passed that literally, turn the divorce court into a slaughterhouse. I mean, I've seen it firsthand. I mean, that shit is, it's out of control. And I'll say this once and I'll say it again. I am thoroughly shocked and surprised that there isn't a barricaded gunman across the street from every family court in America 5 days a week. Take the weekends off. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm serious.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable what they do in there and they get away with.
Well, and that's like you were saying, why most men are checking out. It's really their only option at this point, and I don't blame most guys. I can tell you right now, I'm never putting a ring on any woman ever.
Yeah. Not with all the bad behavior I've seen in my life, all the knives I've had in my back, the dear Johns, the divorces, getting raped through the coals in divorce court, and then after all of the horse shit I had to go through, I'm done. Yep. And I hope there's some young guys out there listening to these stories and realizing there is no future for you here for a white picket fence, 2 kids, a dog, and half a cat. That's out the window now.
Mm-hmm.
So just get used to it. find an alternate path. And there's this new passport bro thing going on. Now, I'm not going to tell you not to do that. What I am going to tell you, if you choose to do that, don't you dare bring them back here to the West, because you are literally setting your old death trap by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And if you won't take it from the man here, listen to Eddie Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Eddie, where's my money, Eddie?
What
Was that? What stand-up was that? Was that Raw or Delirious?
I think it was Raw.
I think it was Raw.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you don't want to listen to Pop, go watch Eddie Murphy and watch that stand-up.
That one came out like the mid '80s.
Yeah. But jumping down just a little bit to give you guys a perspective of what this bill does, it will allow judges to reduce or terminate alimony, support, or maintenance payments after considering a number of factors, such as the age and health of the person who makes payments, the customary retirement age of that person's occupation, the economic impact a reduction in alimony would have on the recipient of the payments, and the motivation for retirement and likelihood of returning to work for the person making the payments. And of course, another one of their quotes, Ron DeSantis, has just impoverished all the older women of Florida, and I know of at least 3,000 women across the state of Florida who are switching to Democrat, and we will campaign against him all the way forever.
Good. Please do that. What about those poor dudes that have to slave themselves to death, go to fucking jail if they can't pay, and got absolutely no mercy? They got cut no breaks at all for the past, 80 years in Florida. Eat a dick, you old retired lip bitch.
Yep. And one of her final quotes here is, "My fears are they could take you back to court, and I don't have money for an attorney."
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I don't care.
Should have saved up that alimony money there.
That's right.
Instead of buying that brand new Porsche, that new condo.
In the dictionary between shit and syphilis is where you'll find the word sympathy.
I literally live off a little bit I get for alimony. I work part-time and I work full-time because I have all kinds of ailments.
Wow.
And now I'm going.
When I was paying child support and I was living in upstate New York, 2 times a month, I drove 571 miles one way just to be able to hang out with my kids. I sold plasma. I literally, ate one meal a day so I could afford to keep that pace going. I filled out a mountain of paperwork. I fought 3 chains of command to make sure that happened. And I even lied and disappeared a few times to make sure the visits happened. So there was absolutely no sympathy for me. I literally had to perform or I died. So guess what, ladies? Feminism has won. I don't care about your ailments. I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell a dude. Handle your shit. Ha ha.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you probably won't see too many women, putting in as much effort as you did, Pop, or even half the effort, maybe even a quarter of the effort.
No, yeah, you're right.
To go see their kids if they would do that. There are some women out there who would probably do it, but
yeah. Listen, I'm telling you, man, there's a few times my back was screaming and I had to get in that car for 9 hours or 8 hours to drive back. And I'm like, okay, I gave my word. It's going to happen.
Yep. And just to put the nail in the coffin on this one. Oops. Damn it, Rhino, you're pushing the buttons. There we go.
I didn't push any buttons.
Let's see. Of course, she says she's going to be left with nothing, with absolutely nothing, absolutely anything. Health insurance, FIVESH, or 5-ass, I would say, will probably be the first thing to go if her payments are reduced or eliminated. This is a death sentence for me. Yeah.
Shut the
Suck
hell
it
up.
up.
Again,
Suck it up.
I think the men out there are done with the sympathy white knighting. I really do. Especially after this Me Too stuff and all of the horror stories of these dudes getting, accusations of getting their lives ruined.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. I don't care how old you are. You better keep those lips moist.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.